NBA Rivals Week kicks off here with the Philadelphia 76ers at home for some afternoon hoops. Sixers, Knicks, big game. Welcome to the PHLY Sixers pregame show live from the Xfinity studio, along with Roy Burton back in the house, hanging out with us. I'm Devon Bree, the president of basketball operations. All of you, and this is perfect timing too. We are presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We do thank the NBA for helping us out with the Blizzard.
Thank you.
Schedule for sometime here soon. They give us an afternoon game so we can do whatever we need to do to get ready to be sheltered in the house.
Yes, sir.
And stuck in here in the house. But we do get some early basketball, so we appreciate the NBA for scheduling the Sixers game today at 3 p.m. In South Philadelphia. Everybody, before we get started, be safe.
Yeah, please.
Make sure you're safe. Stay warm.
Stay warm.
Make sure you're not knocking everybody over for bread and water. There's enough for everyone.
Enough for everybody, folks.
You just have to find it. I know you have to find it, but there is enough for everybody. And while you're at it, please bring me some bread for my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. All right, before we get to our pregame picks a little bit later and the starters as well, we will have Kyle's video a little bit later after the first break. We'll talk about Embiid's play in that segment because Roy hasn't been. I mean, he's been here, but Embiid's now on a sort of Embiid tear.
Man's cooking a little bit.
A little bit of a tear. And with that, we'll get into that. But let's first start off with this one, Roy, because the Sixers right now, Bree, what's the record? 24-19, 24-18, something like that?
Yep.
All right, 24-19. They're still in the mix, as we know, right there. But the Knicks, who are in, top 3 in the Eastern Conference, it seems like the Sixers have their number this season. One game with Embiid, one game without Embiid, both in New York. We know there's going to be a big, heavy Knicks contingent, as there always is, at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Just accept it. But all you have to do is have your team play better, drown them out when the baskets are made. Every Knicks basket that's made, you hear the Knicks fans just go crazy. But with that, the Sixers have had their number so far this season. What are you seeing that's causing that to happen?
Like you said, both of those games were at Madison Square Garden. Both of those games, very, very impressive performances by young VJ Edgecombe. I think VJ Edgecombe is one of those guys who kind of gets up for big moments. I mean, like you've seen his best 4 games this year, or 4 of his best games. I don't want to say his 4 best. So 4 of his best games this year, those 2 games against the Knicks at the Garden, the 2 games against Cooper Flag. I think there's something there about VJ Edgecombe getting up for big games. So I think that's part of it. And even though, just in general, the Knicks and the Sixers just have that rivalry that kind of goes back for years and years. And, like whenever Embiid's on the floor, it's basically his mission to kind of do everything he can to put up crooked numbers against the Knicks. So I think that energy kind of affects the rest of the team. And again, we've seen the Knicks in the playoffs. We've seen the Knicks at least 4 times every year in the regular season. So I think there's just a lot of animosity between these 2 teams. And fortunately, the Sixers have been on the right side of that this year.
Yeah. So again, one with Joel Embiid, one without Joel Embiid. The first one, it was really. The first one, I remember because this was when Tyrese Maxey came back, and Tyrese Maxey came back after being off for a couple of games.
Right.
He and Edgecombe just go nuts in the Garden.
Like shut down Brunson, for the better part of that game.
Yeah, it's just been amazing of what he has been able to do defensively as a young guard. We've seen him get torched a little bit from some other all-star level players where they had his number. This matchup, though, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is. He's beating him to spots. He's not leaving his feet as much, falling for those fakes, biting on those, getting his body in the air, reaching up.
Right.
Whistle happens, and Jalen's at the free throw line. And as you look up, next thing you know, he's got 2 fouls and he has to sit down.
Right.
That hasn't been the case. He has been really, really poised, under control. And I wonder, I'm sure, again, I'm not saying I wonder, I'm pretty sure the coaches have been just pounding it into his head. Hey, stay focused. Don't gamble too much.
Right.
Keep your hands down. Do whatever you need to do.
Don't need to jump.
Exactly. And
right.
he's been really, really, really good with that.
Yeah, no, he's been very good with that. Not great, in that Houston game. They had a bunch of foul trouble in that Houston game, but fortunately, again, they were able to kind of finish that game without having anybody foul out. But he's been really good with that. I just think this is one of those games where Edgecombe just kind of gets up for it. He sees a challenge in Brunson, all NBA caliber player, and he's one of those guys who was like, you know what. I'm going to bring my energy. You bring your energy. We'll see who's the better man. So hopefully we get another taste of that. I know Knicks fans are going to say, I think both of those games were on the back end of a back-to-back for the Knicks. So I think the Knicks fans are going to use that as an excuse for those two games. We'll see what happens, all right? Everybody's had a day off. We have some time. Everybody's healthy. Again, I think both teams coming in perfectly healthy, as healthy as you can be at this point in the season. So no excuses for this one tonight or this afternoon.
Yeah, so in that game, the first one, Tyrese Maxey finished with 30. Edgecombe had 23.
Right.
Maxey also had 9 assists, where Edgecombe had his 2 steals, 1 block. Maxey had a steal. That's the game also where a 2 for 10 shooting night for Paul George. So he didn't even play well.
Right.
6 rebounds, 4 assists in that game. Did have a steal as well. But the Sixers shot 45%, 41 from 3. They were 17 for 41, 19 for 21 from the free throw line. That opposed to what the Knicks did from the three-point line. Field goals, even. 39 for the Knicks, 40 for the 76ers. 8 made threes for the Knicks at home that day. No Deuce McBride in that one, if I remember correctly. Yes, as I look at things here, Mitchell Robinson had a double-double, 21 and 16 off the bench. Not used to getting that type of double-double from Mitchell Robinson. Double-double, yes. Not that impactful.
16, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Deuce McBride did not play it in that particular game. But I'll start there. 21 for, as I look at it, 42 from the field for Edgecombe and Maxey, 9 for 18 from the three-point line. That's really where they won the game.
Right.
Plus, holding Jalen Brunson to 22 on 7 for 22 shooting.
That's the game.
That's really game one, how it played out.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it played out. And again, like Edgecombe in those 2 games against the Knicks has been averaging 24.5 points per game. Again, he's been doing his thing on the offensive end. Second game wasn't that great defensively against Jalen Brunson, but Jalen Brunson's a guy, he's going to get his, right? You can only stop him for so much. I think Brunson was 10 of 21 or something like that in the second game against the Sixers. So again, Brunson's going to get his. I think it's just a matter of, again, you have to kind of match his energy, match what he's going to do on the offensive end as best you can, and then do what you can to limit the rebounding of the Knicks. Because for whatever reason, Mitchell Robinson just feasts on the Sixers. I don't understand why he rebounds so well against his team. But again, when Joel Embiid's there, it's a little bit of a different story.
Yeah, in that game, Andre Drummond 14 and 13 in the starting role for Joel Embiid. Dominic Barlow 11 points, 4 boards off the bench. Jarrett McCain, one of his better games of the season, 12 points in that one. He made all 3, 1 for 2 from 3. The Knicks had 4 players score over 20 points. But again, not enough. Yeah. Mitchell Robinson with the 21, Brunson 22, Cat 22 and 11, and Kale came off the bench. Kale started 21, 7 and 5 in that one. So that was that first game. The second game for the Sixers, as you talked about, Maxey comes back. That's the game that he plays really well after missing that time. That's also in the midst of where the Knicks go on to win the NBA Cup for that one. Second game, Sixers, January 3rd in New York on that Saturday. Tyrese Maxey, 36 in this one. Edgecombe, 26 also. 10 for 18 from 3, and they combined 24 for that one is 38. From the field. Yeah. That's insane.
That's really good for your guards, for your backcourt.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'll take that every day of the week.
You get 15 from George, 8 boards, 6 assists. Embiid, 26, 10, and 5 in that game where he played 33 minutes. No foul trouble for him in that one. The Knicks, Brunson, 31, 10 for 21. Cat, 23 and 14. Anunoby, 19, 6 and 6. Mikal had 12 in that one, had a poor shooting game that game. Off the bench, he got 20 from Deuce McBride, 5 for 7 from 3. So a much different game, 130, 119, more high scoring, better overall balance from both teams. But in this one, you saw a different type of game from the Sixers to beat the Knicks in this particular one.
Yeah, I think the Sixers are, again, they have a bunch of guys who can kind of, because the Knicks don't play at a fast pace, so they have a bunch of guys they can run up and down the court with. I think the Sixers are a team where, like, if you get to those track meet kind of games, the 120, 130 games, I think the Sixers probably have an advantage because I don't think the Knicks have that much scoring power to kind of keep up with them in that situation. So, again, I think today's game is going to be one of those games, first team to 120 probably wins it because I think the Knicks just don't have, the way they're playing now especially, don't have that offense that can keep up with the Sixers team.
As I get a call from my cousin.
Oh.
Want to know, like, where you at? Why? Because they're in the arena already. So I look at this one and I look at rebounds too. 47 to 44 in the last game where the Sixers were able to win the rebounding advantage. And as far as turnovers, 13 to 16 in favor of the Philadelphia 76ers. So a few things that have to factor in where you keep yourself in the game by rebounding and making sure that you're not out-rebounded in that way. It was weird because Joel Embiid got Mitchell Robinson in foul trouble in game number 2, if you remember.
Right.
And Mitchell Robinson has issues with Embiid because he thought he tried to foul him and really injure him in that playoff series by grabbing his leg. And in this one in particular, you had Mitchell Robinson, 5 fouls, only 5 rebounds. Cat had 14. Right. Mitchell Robinson had 5. So that's how that one went. So if you can, again, make sure that you neutralize Mitchell Robinson in that way, but also because I think in this one, last game, Hart did not play. That's when he was still dealing with the injury. So
right.
You know how it goes, Josh Hart.
Exactly.
Every 50-50 ball is his.
It's Josh Hart's ball.
Yeah, so keep him off the glass, keep Towns off the glass, keep Robinson off the glass. You give yourself a chance. But that means you have to rebound when those loose ball opportunities are there as well. So it's a really good matchup with this team.
Yeah.
Why do the Sixers have their number? Well, they've won in 2 different ways. They won both games on the road. Yeah. Can they win now at home against this Knicks team? That's the question. So we're going to take our first break here on the show. When we come back, we'll get to Kyle's video, and we have to talk a little bit more about Joel Embiid. And after seeing what he did in Game 2 against that front court, can he do it again, especially with this way that he's been playing, coming off a 32-point triple-double in the Sixers win on Thursday? It's the PHLY Sixers pregame show. Roy, Devon, and Bree, all of you, big game. Big game.
Big game.
Is this a win? Let's talk about it. All right, let's get to our people here as we talk about. See, I'm not gonna do what the guys do where they go at each other with Xfinity. I just simply hope everybody's cable is intact as this weather is about to hit us and you're all good, right? I just want everybody to be good with their Xfinity and making sure they're good to go to watch all the football they want tomorrow while you're all snowed in. Xfinity 5. They have a 5-year price guarantee. What if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Xfinity 5. All right, imagine if the Wi-Fi that makes everything in your home work together, that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with the 6th sense and lets you stream the game even when the whole family's online. All your diverse devices working perfectly in harmony for 5 whole years. Also, they have the great app. I have it on my phone that's easy to navigate. If you're having a little bit of issue and you just want to check it out before you reach out to Xfinity, you go right to your app and see what's going on. Take it from me, a lot can change in 5 years. Championships are won, records are broken, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it should stay reliable at the same price as well, and that keeps you staying put with all the devices in your home. So lock in your price, unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only, restrictions apply. Also, I have to tell you about our presenting sponsor, Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Got a big afternoon game here for your basketball team. Going for a 3-0 record right now. 3-0 record right now over their rival during Rivals Week. Can they get it done? Well, if you feel like this is going to be another high-scoring game and you say, I got how this one is going to play out, I need to place a wager. 90 million users worldwide, 780,000 events each year, NBA and NHL playouts, only at Bet365. If you're a new customer and you want to jump on in there, you get, breaking news here, $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. All you have to do is use code PHLY365 to sign up, deposit $10, place a bet for $5, and you get to use those bonus bets directly to your account Win or lose, $200. Those bonus bets can be used on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus, physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back here on the PHLY Sixers pregame show, Roy, Devon, Bree, all of you, and Kyle. Let's get to Kyle Neubeck live from the arena, letting us know what's going on with the Sixers. And oh, by the way, they have a road game on Monday. With the road game on Monday, you typically leave the day before. With the anticipated weather, do we get something from Nick Nurse? Let's hear from Kyle Neubeck about their travel plans.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sixers-Knicks with a rare 3 p.m. start time today. Joel Embiid, Paul George, both probable. We're expecting them to play, despite the fact that Joel played 46 minutes the other night, the most he's played in quite a long time. That's a great sign. Against Houston on Thursday night, Nick Nurse staggered Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey so that one of them was on the floor at basically any given time. Will that happen again today? Will that happen moving forward? Nick Nurse is unsure because, as he said before the games, you really never know if your best laid plans are going to hold up.
I think we want even not only just those guys playing opposite each other some, but some of the other combos we've talked about before too. We've gone to some VJ Paul lineups where they kind of get into some sets with those two guys. That was 3 weeks ago. That hasn't surfaced much since, so there's still lots of different things, and I think it really depends on who you're playing and how the game's going a lot.
The other big news really has nothing to do with the game. It's the snowstorm that you guys and myself certainly are going to deal with on Sunday and Monday. It is altering the Sixers' travel plans just a little bit. Rather than leaving tomorrow, potentially getting an early morning practice in, the Sixers are out of town on Saturday night after today's game. And Nick Nurse said, regardless of what the weather brings, they're bringing their winter coats and they're getting to work down in Charlotte on Monday.
Well, hopefully it's not total. Hopefully we can get a practice in down there. If we get there tonight and it's not totally we stay right across from the arena, we ought to be able to walk over there. We're going to bring our winter coats and stuff like that, so we can hopefully we can get one in and a shoot around maybe on Monday.
This has been a great matchup for the Sixers guards so far this year. VJ Edgecombe with some big moments at Madison Square Garden already as a rookie. We'll see if he, Maxey, and certainly Joel Embiid can get it going today against the Knicks.
Kyle Neubeck live from the arena with the pregame hit on the Xfinity mobile call-in line. All right. Well, we got the answer. They're leaving today.
Tonight.
As they should. It's funny because I was going to text Derek and Kyle last night and Bree and just kind of talk through. We always do. But you guys think they leave tomorrow? Because obviously it makes sense.
Right.
And so that's an easy call for the Sixers to do that. Right. You got to get out of here.
Yeah. You got to get out of here again. Like, they're going to leave tonight after the game. They'll get down there, as Nick Nurse said. The hotel's right across the street from the arena, which is, again, very beneficial for them. Because down in Charlotte, they don't know how to deal with this kind of weather. They have no idea. Like, anything below the Mason-Dixon line, they have no idea how to deal with snow and ice and things like that. So kudos to the Sixers for booking a hotel right across the street from the arena so they can walk over there. Because if there needed to be a team bus or anything, other travel kind of things going on, it would have been a mess.
Have you been to that arena?
I've not.
I remember there was one, I think it was an NCAA tournament game.
Okay.
Where it was really bad weather.
Yeah.
And because of that, the teams had to walk across the street to whatever arena it was because of the weather.
Right.
And they have their security, so you can also request extra security to help the players walk across the street to the arena if need be. Right? You don't need the bus, you don't need all that stuff.
Exactly.
Hey, everybody, single form, let's go. And let's get across the street. Also, because of what he said about Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, Bree, let's just go ahead and talk about Joel Embiid and just look at what it is for him. He's been on a tear. Yeah. He's been averaging 30 points over the last 3 games. He's coming off this 32-point triple-double. I ask you, because we haven't had a chance to talk to you during the work that he's been doing, what have you seen from Joel Embiid that has impressed you the most based on how he has played?
I think the most impressive thing for me is that he's literally getting better every month, right? Like, we're seeing the improvement in his game across the board every single month. If you look at his breakdowns on a monthly basis, now in January, 27, 8, and 4 in January on nearly 54% shooting, which is better than December, which is better than November. And now he's playing 34 minutes a night. So you can see him now, again, being able to kind of do some of the things, athletically, kind of, be a little bit more active on defense. Still not the best, one-on-one defender or as great of a one-on-one defender as we remember him being, let's say, a couple of years ago. But this team is clearly better as a team when he's on the floor, as a defender. So, again, just him just kind of feeling more comfortable on both ends of the court. That's a huge bonus, and I'm glad to see that we're here before the All-Star break because, again, now we have 2 more months after this to kind of get everything ready before the playoffs.
The thing that's impressed me the most, guys, is I'm looking at his numbers over the last 10 games. 28 points. He's averaging 4 assists. He's shooting 53% from the floor, 33 from behind the three-point line,
right,
and 92.6 at the free throw line. We expect Joel Embiid to make free throws. That's
sure.
why when he goes through these games and he misses 3 or he misses 4, we're like, what the hell is going on?
Right.
Even he sometimes throws his hands up in the air
what's going on? Yeah.
of why am I not making these free throws? The most important thing for me, though, everybody, Rich Bree, is he's averaging 8 boards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Earlier in the season,
it was like 5.
It was like 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And we were like, yo, are you going to put a body on anybody?
Right.
Are you going to jump a little bit?
Out? Right.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And he's averaging 8. And he has the 15 the other night to help them secure that overtime victory. And he's 8 boards. He's averaging 7 on the season, but 8 for him, for this version of Joel Embiid, to go along with the 28 points and even the back to the basket jump hooks that we're seeing and layups where he's tapping the board and making sure that he's scoring that way. That's where I'm impressed because that's what they're going to need. They're going to need him to put a body on somebody. He scoops up the rebounds at that 8.4% clip, or not point, but 8.4 per game clip, or he just simply puts a body on somebody and allows his teammates to get that floorboard. Now they have to go attack that loose ball and get the basketball. Too many offensive rebounds we still talk about for this basketball team. But for Joel Embiid to rebound, just gradually improving his rebound month by month, game by game for Joel Embiid, that's where I am impressed, and I hope that continues while he still gives them the scoring. Because look, he contests some shots. Right. They still give up too many points in the paint. But he's starting to do that. If he can now gradually, month by month, week by week, game by game, get better and feel more comfortable with that lift off of that knee or off of those legs to contest shots and at least make them think about
it,
coming there, then by the time we get to late March, early April, and certainly into the postseason mid-April, hopefully all of that stuff has come together.
Yeah, and just to that point, I think I saw the stat this week that shots within 6 feet when Joel Embiid's on the court, the opponent's field goal percentage is like 55, 56%, which is one of the lowest in the league. So,
but it's still ridiculous.
It's still high, but I mean, it's still. But again, like it's better than it was before. And again, he is becoming a little bit more of an impediment in the lane. When people, again, you have to just think twice. Again, he's not going to jump like people in the chat have said. Like he's probably not going to be able to jump the way he did before and play the defense the way he did 2 or 3 years ago. But again, just make people think twice before they come in the lane. And then again, that kind of makes everybody as better as a defensive whole.
Here's the other thing with the jumping. Sometimes you might get some over the back fouls.
Right.
You might get some reaching in fouls because of the fact that you jumped. Therefore, you're going to get a whistle because they came over your back or grabbed your arm or your shoulder or bumped you out of the way, out of the air, where you force a foul call on the opponent. So that's important. For the month of January, Embiid, through these, I said 8 games so far. They have played 10 games in the month of January. They have a 7-3 record over the last 10. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
Right.
Close to a block. He's at 0.8. He gets half a steal a night as well. Free throw line, 88%, 54% from the floor.
Right.
And he's still shooting poorly from behind the three-point line, 29%, where that has not clicked yet. But over the last 5 games, 1 for 6, 2 for 5, 2 for 3, 1 for 1, and 1 for 3 from behind the three-point line. In December, 26 points, 8 boards, consistent there.
We're getting there, right.
Right. As we go back, 22, 5 boards. He only played 3 games in the month of November, 22, 5, 3 assists. And in November, where he did start the season, but then he missed that time, 17 and 5. So look at that, 17 and 5 for the month, 22 and 5 for the month, 25 and 8, 27 and 8, starting to gradually and playing more games at us there, and you start to stack those days. For the standings, as we sit here right now, decent schedule tonight in the NBA. One game we'll tell you about is being postponed. It's the world. Sixers right now are a game and a half back of the New York Knicks. Knicks are 26-18. Sixers 24-19. Sixers also a half game back of the Cleveland Cavaliers, who play the Orlando Magic tonight a little bit later on. For the Sixers at home, 12-12. Knicks 8-12 away from the Garden. So maybe an opportunity again there for you to protect your home floor, as we've been talking about.
Right.
A 500 record at home is just ridiculous.
You shouldn't be that. You shouldn't have a 500 record at home. Heading into a week or two out of the All-Star break. If you're a legit team, if you're a team that has aspirations to win a couple of rounds in the playoffs, you have to defend your home court. And the thing is, if you've already played 12 games, 24 games at home, that means at the end of the season you're going to play a lot more games on the road. Your schedule's going to be a little bit more bounce on the road. So you got to take care of business on the road, because the schedule's only going to get harder in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. One game up on the Orlando Magic. Orlando takes on Cleveland tonight. I still say you root for the team in front of you to lose, and you win, and you take care of business right there. That will cut down, of course, jumping in front of Cleveland, and that will put you only a half game back of the fourth seed, which is the New York Knicks. Sixers 2 games back of the Toronto Raptors. Toronto has won 3 games in a row, and the Knicks beat the brakes off of the Nets the other night.
The brakes off of them.
Did they ever the other night? So the Knicks have been waiting. They're all rested, good to go. Have not played well. They've only won 3 of their last 10 basketball games.
Right.
That's why they needed that 50-point blowout over the Nets at home on Wednesday night. All right, let's get to the starters for the Sixers and the Knicks here this afternoon. I know what time it is. It's the afternoon. It's not night, so I'm not going to say tonight. I'm going to say afternoon for this basketball game.
He's a professional.
That's right. The starting 5 that you saw on Thursday, that's what you get here as the Sixers are back in the black unis.
Love them.
Back in the black unis. Maxey, Edgecombe, Oubre, rolling.
Rolling, man. Rolling.
Paul George and Joel Embiid. That's the starting 5 for the Sixers. For the Knicks, Karl-Anthony Towns was questionable here today, but because of this big game rivalry week for the New York Knicks, Karl-Anthony Towns is in fact in the starting lineup to this afternoon for the New York Knicks. As I look at it, I only know this because I know this, but Karl-Anthony Towns is playing, but they do have the last thing the Knicks put up in their starting 5. They just have the game day graphic, and they put Mikal in.
So I assume it's the usual lineup: Brunson, Hart, Mikal, Anunoby, Towns.
Yeah.
Bravo. Okay.
Yep. So that looks to be the play for the Knicks this afternoon. So quickly before we get to our picks, our pregame pick segment, ask you,
yes.
Kelly Oubre, he's got his legs underneath him, and he has been cooking.
I know. We talked a lot about Joe. We talked a lot about the VJ Edgecombe. Last 3 games, Kelly Oubre averaging almost 22 points per game. He's doing everything. Again, he's a nice little 2-man game with Joel Embiid. Been able to kind of attack the basket. He's been really good. I've always been hesitant to kind of put him in that starting lineup because again I like that scoring punch off the bench. But that lineup against the Rockets we saw, I kind of like it a little bit. And we're going to see it again today. And if it works again today, then I really can't fault Nick Nurse for rolling with this until it stops working.
We said this was going to be a tough decision, Barlow or Oubre, but it's a good tough decision because one thing you do get is a professional in Dominic Barlow if he's coming off that bench, that no matter if he's announced in the starting 5 or he's playing 25 minutes off the bench, he is going to give you maximum effort every time out there on the floor. So a win-win for the Sixers, especially if Kelly Oubre keeps this up. Let's get to the Bet365 pregame picks presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, use code PHLY365 to sign up so you can join Bree, Roy, and myself for making these plays, which I did not hit it on Thursday because I had Şengün for a double-double. He was 2 rebounds shy of a double-double.
All right.
But I did have Embiid at over his 25.5. He got 32.
Nice.
So let's get back in the winning side of things here. Bree, did you win the last game?
I think Amen was a rebound short.
He had 6 instead of the 7
Sorry,
that
gang.
you predicted. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's get to it. Let's bounce back. Bounce back here on this one. Bree has plus 155. Jalen Brunson, 3 plus 3s. Paul George, 2. What do you think?
I don't hate that. I like that. Yeah, I like that a little bit. Paul George, little shaky in the 3s recently, but I don't hate that.
He has some big ones. And that
He did in overtime.
big one. Yeah, big corner three and another one. Yeah, so I like that one for Bree. I also think Jalen Brunson, Paul George hit for those numbers. Mine, I went a little different because we do these all the time.
Yeah, you want to mix it up a
I want
little
to
bit?
mix it up. Plus 110. Deuce McBride, he's going to make his 2 threes.
Okay.
Miles McBride, Deuce McBride is going to make his 2 threes.
All right.
Kelly Oubre, 3 points in the first quarter. It was at a nice little line there. I said, you know what?
I don't hate that.
I think that's a little easy one.
I don't hate that. Should be
3
good.
points in the first quarter for Kelly Oubre, plus Deuce to hit 2 threes. That's a plus 110. Combine those, you get 30% on the profit boost at Bet365 right now for your NBA play. And you get a pretty good number there for those 4 plays combined there on the same game parlay at Bet365. Sign up using code PHLY365. Make sure, remember, new customers, you get $200 in bonus bets using code PHLY365. And when you do get that $200, you have to deposit 10, place a bet for 5, maybe on that play right there. Win or lose, though, you get that $200 credited to your account. All right, how you feeling about this one?
I feel good. Again, like the Sixers.
Another good game?
Sixers
Between these two?
Like you said, have the Knicks number. Again, Knicks are 8-12. On the road this year. Should be again nice lively crowd. Down at the Exmo tonight. The Knicks have been a mess. I mean, they just haven't looked good. Like since the NBA Cup, they're 8-11. They just haven't been a good team. The Sixers have kind of alternated wins and losses, like we talked about before. But in general, I mean, they've had pretty good performances when they've had their full complement of guys. So I like the game tonight for the Sixers. I would take them on the money line.
You just said tonight. It's the
I
afternoon.
did.
just saying.
Not a professional. Professional.
No.
Not a professional.
Professional. He just slipped up because we're used to night games. All right, everybody. We will, though, be back after the game, 10 minutes after the game goes final. It will be in the evening by the time the game is over. So, everybody come back 10 minutes after the game. Hang with us as we talk about, are we talking about a 3-0 season series lead, or is it 2-1 in favor of the Sixers? How are you feeling about this one, everybody? Regardless, I know we'll hang out with you after the game. So for Kyle and Derek at the arena, Bree and Roy, I'm Devon. Hit the like button, like and subscribe, leave a comment, and tell your New York friends to come on in to hang with us post-game here on the PHLY Sixers podcast. Everybody enjoy.
We all silly like the mayor.